This is the Initiates dormitory. The new arrivals are brought here. There's still hope for these kids, SCKZ. Harrow hasn't had a chance to ruin them yet. Then we need to stop him before he can... Glory raises a hand, suddenly alert. Wait, listen, movement in the other room. You strain your ears to listen. Soft voices from inside the room come drifting out of a nearby vent. You hear a woman's voice. The sound is crisp and smooth and sweet, and it instantly puts you at ease. Come now, dear, it's probably nothing. No need to worry yourself. We are so far off the beaten track, we don't get a lot of visitors. Is that Marta? Out of the corner of your eye, you can see Glory's back stiffen. She flinches as though she's been stung. Another voice, high-pitched and pleading, an adolescent boy. But what if it is someone? What if the bad people have found us? What if they followed me here and they've come to... The female voice cuts in, soft and comforting. Well then, we'll send them away. You're perfectly safe here. You have to believe that. Don't worry, dear heart. Harrow won't let anyone hurt you. Not here in this place. Not ever again. You hear another boy's voice. This one is deeper. Are you certain, Marta? Positive. Be calm, all of you. As long as you're here with us, nothing bad will ever happen to you. Is that your Marta, Glory? She gives a curt nod. Not mine, Harrow's. But she's the Marta from my story, yes. What do you want to do? Glory pauses, grits her teeth. Finally she spits out an answer. I don't know. If she's still here, she'll be Harrow's #1, my old position. He had his way with all of us, but he was always sweet on Marta. Part of me wants to kill her. She's the reason why a lot of kids wound up here, including me. She grits her teeth, and the razors flick out of her fingertips. A second later she retracts them, but there isn't time. This isn't what we're here for. Yeah, no, we're here to free the kids and kill Harrow. Not here to kill Marta. You're right, we can deal with Marta later, after we accomplish what we came here to do. After a brief pause, she nods. Marta's voice floats back out through the vent. Hush now, boys, and get some rest. You've got a big day tomorrow, the biggest day of your lives. You get to meet Harrow. I promise you, after you speak with him, you'll see the whole world in a different way. A better way. The adolescent voice trembles on a response. Alright, Marta, have a good night. A lovely, musical laugh pours through the vent. You too, dear heart, all of you. You hear the distant sound of a door sliding shut. Glory takes a deep breath and releases it. Let's go, SCKC. We need to deal with that shrine. Alright. We're just sneaking around, listening indoors. Ooh. Medicine cabinet. Gonna take that. So this is the bathroom. Man, this place is real fancy, judging by the construction of it. Who paid for all this stuff? Oh, this is the kitchen and mess hall. Refrigerator. As you open the refrigerator door, a whiff of ammonia sticks in your nostrils. Watery light glints off of the door's polished interior. The fridge is stacked full of large plastic bins, all tightly sealed and neatly labeled. It's hard to tell through the opaque plastic, but they appear to be full of meat. Okay. Inspect the containers. You pop the lid off a container to take a closer look. The first thing that hits you is the smell. The meat in here is beyond rancid. White mold frosts the sides of the bin, and it's all you can do to keep from gagging. As you rush to put the lid back on, you recognize a familiar shape in the rotten meat. A mangled human hand. Is that what I think it is? Why would they keep them in the fridge? You're out in the countryside, bury the bodies in the ground. Why would you keep them in the fridge? And they're rancid. Glory's voice is flat. Ritual supplies. The adversary prefers them aged. Oh. Okay. It's for the friggin' adversary. And he likes them aged. Harrow teaches all of the initiates how to do it, how to harvest the meat, how to store it, how to label it. Nobody likes doing it at first, but you learn. By the end, it doesn't even bother you anymore. I get it. I understand. I warned you that you'd see things you didn't want to in here. You weren't like... She turns away from you. Come on, let's keep moving. You have to do this to keep the adversary happy? I mean, it's a friggin'... It's a health hazard, right? It's a biohazard. Large book. An ostentatiously large tome sits cradled on this pedestal. The paper is robust and fibrous, and the binding has been expertly stitched. A steel plate running along the book's spine anchors it to the pedestal. Glory stares down at it, frowning. Harrow's Manifesto, the handcrafted line of bullshit that he feeds to his initiates. We all ate it up with a smile, and came away convinced that he was a genius. She leafs through the pages with an articulated finger. Looks like he's expanded it over the last few years. It's at least twice as thick as when I lived here. Maybe there's something in there that we can use. I wouldn't want to hang around long enough to find out. This is Harrow's personal library. He used to experiment in here. There were dangerous things in here, SDKC, sick things. I was never allowed in this room without Harrow. Nobody was. He said that it was for our safety, and I think that he was telling the truth. She pauses. I feel uneasy being in here. I don't want to stay longer than we have to. Maybe things have changed. We didn't have any trouble getting in, did we? That's just your old self talking, your past coming back to haunt you. I've been on edge since we came in, but that doesn't change the fact that we should learn what we can. Whatever Harrow's added to his manifesto, it could be important. I'm gonna take a look. I'm with you there. We can't afford to waste time here anyway. We should keep moving. I don't know. Like, we have no idea which of these is true. Like, this is one of these things like they give you a choice, but you just don't know what you're choosing. Maybe things have changed. We didn't have any trouble getting in, did we? No, we didn't. I don't know, you might be right. It could be nothing. Go ahead and leaf through the book if you want to, but try to be quick, okay? I don't want to stay in here longer than we have to. Leaf through the beginning of the manifesto. I mean, it could be a trap. You flip through the early pages of the manifesto, find what looks like a good place to jump in and start to read. When I first set out on the path to free living, I realized that I'd have to rethink all of my earlier assumptions about life. I'd have to question my own values and beliefs, and I need the strength to trust in the answers that came to me. The prospect was daunting, but it was necessary. The road to true freedom is paved with unanswered questions. That's not... no, it's not. It's not. Unanswered questions? Is that freedom? No, that's just ignorance. After all, you can't learn to be free from a book. You kind of can, actually. Depends which book it is. The answers won't come from a Bible, an instruction manual, or a code of conduct. If you don't learn that, you'll never break your chains. Yeah, but he wrote it in a book. He wrote a manifesto. He wrote a book about how the answers are not in the book. So what? The path to true freedom is one that each of us must walk on his own. On his or her own. Yeah, no, he's just contradicting himself. Everything he says, everything the manifesto says is a contradiction. You have to walk the path on your own, but you join a cult, right? You join this communal living arrangement to be alone. No, it's not. What makes life worth living? What in life is truly valuable, and what is the dross that can be burned away? I spent weeks dissecting every aspect of my life to find the answers to these questions. Slowly, agonizingly, I pared down the list until only 4 items remained. These 4 items became the cornerstones of my new philosophy, and the basis for everything that Fürstella stands for. Love. The first cornerstone and the most important. Without love, life is bland and meaningless. Without love, we might as well be machines. Maybe we'd be better off as machines. Love what you do, love the people around you, and above all, love yourself. I love myself every day. Self-determination. The second cornerstone. Each of us must be his or her own shepherd. No more gods and no more kings. But you're the leader here. Why is there a leader here? Your life is your own. Lash out against anyone or anything that tries to treat you like property. An assault on your freedom is an assault on your whole being, and it must be met with an equally ferocious response. So what makes you the boss then? Charity, the third cornerstone. A miserly life is an empty life. If each of us is his or her own master, then nobody should live as a serf. By helping others along the path to enlightenment, so do we enrich our own lives. Right. Passion. Hold on. L S C P. Okay, there's no secret code. Passion, the final cornerstone. Complacency is poison. Be wary of it. Ambition is the key to a fulfilling life. Don't settle for what is. If you do, you abandon what could be. Don't settle for what is. Alright. So, his manifesto is bullshit. I think we use this against him at some point. You hear a rustling sound beside you, Glory. Turning, you can see a troubled look on her face. That ominous feeling is getting stronger, SCKC. It feels like we're being watched. She probably has magical powers. Do we continue reading? Let's continue reading. What could possibly go wrong? Leafing through to the middle of the book, you find a section dedicated to Harrow's rules of living. Be free. Be free in all things and experience that freedom with your whole being, body, mind, and spirit. Discard the oppressive traditions of modesty and shame that you've been indoctrinated in with since birth. The free thinker has no use for them. Your body is a source of pride, of pleasure, and of succor. For yourself and for others, enjoy it and share that joy freely with those who desire it. Be selfish. Don't enslave yourself to others at the expense of your own happiness. Take what you want and do so unashamedly. That contradicts his earlier stuff. He said charity, and then now it's be selfish. Our desires are an important part of what makes us human. Society has trained us to hide that part of ourselves from the world. But the free living person doesn't cower in the shadows. Own your desires and rejoice in them. Selflessness is ultimately dishonest, and dishonesty has no place in a free society. Show reverence. Oh, reverence? The free living person understands that the only true governance in this world is the law of nature, and that in nature there is a hierarchy. Oh, he's contradicting himself. The rabbit doesn't question the wolf. The mouse does not wonder why it must run from the cat. They do because they must. Their survival depends on it. As it is in nature, so it is at Fürstella. Know your place in the food chain and understand the mechanisms by which you can better yourself. You leaf forward and find that there are at least 20 more pages worth of rules. Each is worded vaguely enough to have multiple interpretations. You hear another rustling sound, Glory moving behind you. She stares down at the rules of living, a look of disgust on her face. Etiquette academic, I'm getting the feeling that this entire thing is written in doublespeak. I doubt if there is a single statement in here that isn't contradicted somewhere else. Yeah, no, but we can't say that. You're an intelligent woman, Glory. I can't believe that you couldn't see through this. Clear, simple rules with a focus on instant gratification. I can see why this would be appealing to a street kid. That's not it. You're an intelligent woman, Glory. I can't believe that you couldn't see through this. I was a kid, 17 years old, and most of them spent living in one hell or another. I had a lot of demons to escape from, and the people here made me feel safe and welcome. I wanted this to be true. I needed it to be true, so I convinced myself that it was. Alright. In retrospect, you're right. The rules of living are derivative, self-contradictory drivel. Yeah, they are. They offer easy answers in an attractive, easily digestible package. But then so has the philosophy of every self-proclaimed messiah in history. And they've always managed to attract their share of followers. Yeah, I mean, the actual philosophers don't proclaim themselves messiahs. The ones who proclaim themselves messiahs are the con men, right? It's easy to pass judgment from where you're standing, SCKZ, but in my position, you'd have done the same thing. Maybe so. No, not me. You're right, in your place I would have wound up here right alongside you. Sorry, Glory. I don't know if that's true, but maybe. I mean, I haven't been there, so who knows? I've never been there before, so I don't know. Maybe. Glory freezes up, her shoulders hunch and her eyes narrow. SCKC, that ominous feeling is getting closer. There's something in the room with us, I'm sure of it. We need to get out of here now. There's something in the room with us, I'm sure of it. We need to get out of here now. You keep an eye out, I have to finish this. There might be something in here that we need. No, I'm gonna believe her, right? Leave the joiner alone. There's something in here with us? Let me touch the terminal. This appears to be a standard terminal. A login prompt glows on the screen. Hack the terminal. It looks as though this terminal is used exclusively for financial transactions. After a bit of digging, you find a list of payoffs to local law enforcement, paid by Harrow no doubt, to ensure that the police look the other way. Where does he get this money from? Where does Harrow get his money from? He takes in the street kids who have nothing, so he doesn't get money from the street kids. Where does he get the money from? Paid data, Harrow's bribes. Alright, cool, we got money out of that, at least. The doorway shimmers with a faint red light. As you approach the door, you can feel a squirming sensation in the back of your skull. Your limbs begin to tingle, then feel heavy. The closer that you get to the doorway, the more of a struggle it is to continue moving forward. It feels as though the strength is being siphoned from your body. If we have willpower 6, we can fight through it. Alright, step back. As you step away from the door, the crawling sensation gradually recedes. A moment later, the strength returns to your limbs. Glory stares into the light, frowning. The shrine room is through there, but this barrier wasn't here before. Harrow must have warded the doorway after I ran. How do we get through? The ward is like a lock. There must be a key. A grimace crosses her face, and I know who it is. There's only one person here that Harrow would offer it to. Marta. She nods. Looks like we're gonna have to confront her after all. The razors flick out of her fingers. Let's go. Maybe we can talk our way through Marta. What would have happened if I kept reading, I wonder?